Fire that fucking cocksucker up. Yeah. R.I.P. Eddie Van Halen.
R.I.P.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another fine edition of the Beers and Deers podcast. As always, the guillotine, JP Rambo, coming back at you another week.
Live from Kentucky, Maryland.
That's right.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are here.
We are here.
And in the building.
And we are queer.
Oh,
Right?
no.
Nothing.
Just every once in a while. It's only when we hunt.
Together.
Mm.
Yes.
Same stand.
What's happening, brother? What's going on?
Whew.
What's going on?
Well, let me tell you, I have had a hell of a week.
Me too.
I've spent about 10 hours in the stand this week. Maybe 12. Somewhere around there. And I have not seen a single deer. And it'd be like that sometimes.
It'd be like that.
You know what I mean?
You know?
But, and it's, what are you going to do? What are you going to do?
You know, they say the October lull. Not sure if I really believe that. But
Yeah, I think there's something to it, but it's, you know, there's a reasoning behind all of it too, you know what I mean? But yeah, a little bit of a lull here for me for this week. Just haven't had eyes on any deer, which is, you know, it happens. It really does. And it's easy to get discouraged and be like, man, fuck, I'm not even going to go sit, you know what I mean? And then, but you know what, man, you got to stick with it, you know?
yeah, like
Keep hammering.
when I get in them ruts, then in the back of my mind I'm like, maybe that fucking hammer's walking past my tree right now, like, and then I take myself the fuck out there.
Yeah. I thought you were going to say you take yourself out. Like,
I thought about it a couple times.
yeah, I thought about it a lot today in the stand. I was like, you know,
If I just swan dive out of here,
I'll probably be a quick death, you know. Maybe it's just a painless death.
you know, I can turn my bow around and kill myself.
Kill myself. I bet this fucking Grim Reaper would really end this pretty fast. It's a good way to go. As the samurai would say, it's a good death. Yeah, it was a rough week for me, man. I went out 3 times. I went, what was that? Fuck. Monday, public land, nothing. I went again Friday morning. I had a side job. I'm off every other Friday. Friday morning, before a side job, I went in the morning. And this is something on the Instagram we talked about. We did like a little poll whether or not you're hunting mornings right now. And I said yes. And the reason for that is there's one particular property that we have in Elkton, Maryland, that provides us the ability. We've been hunting there for several years. We have cameras up. We know where they bed. We know where they feed. And when permitting, we have access to actually slip in and get in a stand while they're feeding and catch them on the way back to bedding so they're not disturbing them. And that's about the only circumstance I will hunt in the morning in October. So the short answer is yes, but in fact, it's got to be very circumstantial. It's got to really, the cards basically, the stars have to align for me to hunt in the morning in October.
Yeah, I wanted to go into that. I feel like people, like we didn't go into it why we don't hunt mornings in early season, and I don't think people really understood why. And the purpose of that is because there's still a lot of green on the trees and on the brushes, and they can literally bed right next to where they feed.
Right.
They don't need to travel, 500 yards to get into those giant sticker briar bushes.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and they're just on that bed and feed pattern still right now. They're not.
It's usually right next to each other.
Yeah. And it's real hard to slip in the morning without bumping.
Yeah.
You know, you have to have a really good setup to do that. You have to have great access. Yeah. You know.
Like my buddy Chance, shout out Chance Horney. He weighed in and he said no, and that's a deer killing son of a bitch. There, he's a wealth of knowledge.
Yeah. Yep. And that's that's how it is. Though. I mean, you don't want to fuck your spot up, especially not right before the rut. You know what I mean? You don't want to blow does out of there, even because them does are bringing in them big boys. We're all chasing them hoes. They ain't no different than me and you, Johnny. I mean, I know you're not chasing them.
Yeah, I've made a plan to stay out of where I got my hang-ons until the rut.
Yeah. I'm not going in port. I've even thought about not even going in for muzzleloader and letting them other guys blow their property up, and that way our section will be a little sanctuary.
Safe haven.
You know what I mean?
That's a good idea.
So let them go in there, guns a-blazing, and we'll wait till November.
Okay.
It gets me moist just saying that word.
Telling you.
November.
My vacation got approved. I am off from Halloween until the next Sunday. 9 days.
God damn, that's a hell of a vacation.
Yeah, buddy.
Fuck yeah.
I'm hoping I can kill my buck on Halloween, and then I can spend the rest of the time here annoying the old lady.
Shit-faced drunk.
Yeah.
Just, waking up, sleepwalking, pissing in your dresser drawers.
It's my house.
Yeah.
This is my palatial estate. I'll do what I please.
Yeah, I'll do whatever I goddamn please to do.
I got to piss and shit in the west wing, and she's got to sleep in the east wing. Who knows?
It's reasonable. It's not too much to ask.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah. My week sucked, but I got a feeling, just an inkling, that your week may have been a little bit better.
It was slightly better. I went out. What Thursday? I went out. What was that? Thursday? Yeah, Thursday. Did an old run and gun in my brand new Summit Viper climber. We didn't talk about this, but I told you I got a new stand. But
yeah.
That thing is fucking sick.
Yeah. It is a sore dick. You can't beat it. You just can't beat it.
Jesus.
Summit makes a great climber, man.
I mean, I got the steel, not the aluminum.
Yeah.
It's 10 pounds heavier. It was $100 cheaper.
Yeah.
But it's 10 pounds heavier.
Yeah.
But I can carry it.
You got the gun. You got the pipes.
But Thursday, took it out, run and gun, got up in the climber. I was in the climber hour 45. I looked to my left, and last year's fawn is coming down, and her mom is right behind her. And I said, oh shit, because they surprised the shit out of me. And I stood up as slow as I could and grabbed my bow, and I drew back. It was a 25-yard shot, and I was pretty high. And I put my 30-yard pin on her belly and let her fly. And it hit her pump station disconnect. She went 25 yards, and she died right in front of me.
It was 25 piled up.
Yeah, those Grim Reapers, man. I can't.
Didn't have to let her soak it all.
No. I could have killed her offspring. I could have. I didn't feel like dragging two deer.
Yeah, dragging two deer's a bitch. Plus that butcher bill. It's like, this shit's starting to add up.
Yeah, god damn it.
So that is another mark on the old board for JP Rambo.
That's number 4. Yeah.
Number 4. Okay, my lines are a little crooked.
That's fine.
Just like me.
But don't put that marker down.
Oh, okay.
I went tonight.
Son of a bitch.
Tonight. And I went tonight, and I told the old lady, I texted her, I said, I'm not going to shoot a doe. I'm waiting on a buck. I've got 4 does in the freezer. I'm waiting on a buck. And the first doe that came in had a fawn with her. And I had a heart. I didn't want to kill her. And I didn't kill her. And they walked away, and I started thinking about my grandfather, how he waited 20 years to shoot a deer. And he was on my left shoulder like the devil, like, you son of a bitch, why didn't you kill that goddamn deer?
You fucking drill them,
moron. Who do you think you are?
Yeah.
And then I texted you, and I said, I'm not going to be held responsible for the next doe that comes. What happens to her? And of course, another doe came by. And what did old Daddy JP Rambo do?
He went full draw and let her fly.
He didn't go 20.
Didn't go 20.
That's what Daniel said, because I spine shotted her.
Oh, you dirty dog, you.
I didn't mean to. When I let it fly, she did a dip and went left to take off running, and it hit her right above the shoulder blade.
Okay.
So I had to do the old double tap ski.
Yeah, it sucks. But at the same time, a spine shot can be nice because they don't go nowhere.
Didn't go 20.
Didn't go 20. She piled up. Yeah, that's nice, man. Every once in a while, and I've only done like 2 spine shots, but
that's my second one.
They drop instantly.
Of course.
Right where they're at.
Yeah, she spun around a couple times, and I had to wait for her to spin around perfectly so I could put another one in
there. Yeah, make it quick for her.
I hate doing that.
I hate seeing them suffer.
You know, as a reasoning predator, I hate to see it suffer.
A reasonable predator. I like that term.
You like that?
I like that.
It's a reasoning predator.
I'm going to add that to the old notebook.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah.
You should write that on the whiteboard. So why don't you go ahead and...
I guess I'll pick this marker back up.
Tally number 5.
Doe slaying, diamond ring wearing, Dodge truck driving, summit climbing,
Hey. Son of a gun.
wheeling son of a gun. God damn, boy. I'll tell you what, man.
fucking around.
You ain't fucking around today. You're making it difficult for me to catch up.
Yeah. 5-2.
But with that being said, you also have been enlisted into some fucking ungodly work hours.
Yeah. I
So
forgot
that'll give me the handicap I might just need to catch back up to you.
Ungodly ain't the fucking word for it.
Yeah,
got a big
bullshit.
contract to work 70 hours a week. I'll be working.
You're going to be sucking the man's dick 70 hours a week.
But I'll have plenty of money to buy a bunch of hunting stuff that I can just come home and look at for an hour and then go to bed.
That's the spirit, you know? You gotta look at the silver lining in these things, you know? Fuck, man, that sucks. I hate that, man. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I know it sucks for you, but that's gonna hurt me a little bit too, because like, you know, all of the times we get to hunt together, it's gonna be a little bit less this year. It's gonna be shitty, but at least we got the rut coming, and we're both taking those vacations, and we'll get it in.
Yeah, that was pretty much the main reason I killed that doe tonight.
Yeah,
because I'm going on 70 hours a week next week.
So being able to get out in the woods is going to be
It's gonna be
real
tough.
challenge.
I mean, I'll be able to go Saturday afternoons, got to get off at 3, but when the time changes, that'll be only an hour and a half to be in the woods.
Yeah, that's going to be brutal.
So I got that 9 days off for the rut. Hopefully I can put a buck
big
on the
boy
ground.
in. Yeah.
Hopefully.
I mean, at this point, like, you got 5 does. I mean, I'd fucking keep drilling them whores till the wheels fall off. But I mean, like, you got a good freezer full.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
hell
So
yeah.
like, this year don't even, at this point, it doesn't owe you shit. Like, you got a decent year in already, and that's 5 deer in a month, 5 does in 1 month.
Yeah, September 11th it started, and today
What is today, the 10th? Yeah,
Less than a month.
less than a month
Big Daddy Rambo
has put down 5 does. Man, that sounds like a good weekend for me on Tinder.
You wish.
I got banned. I can't even go on there anymore. What are these community guidelines they're talking about?
I have no idea.
What kind of bullshit is this? They're sons of bitches. They were like, you know what? They were tired of my shit. They're like, you got to leave some pussy for the rest of them on there, you know?
Hey,
so they banned me. That's what happened. You know, that's what happened. But yeah, I'll use a coaster. Yeah, dude, you've been fucking drilling shit. I'm fucking...
Yeah, I seen 15 deer tonight.
15?
15. The
Not a buck none?
not
or?
a $1 buck.
No shit.
Not one
That's
buck.
just more reason you're doing the Lord's work out there, John.
Yeah.
You know, the Catholic Church, when you die, they're going to saint you. I don't know how that works, but they're going to do it.
Yeah.
Because you're out there doing the fucking Lord's work, slaying them does.
Yeah.
You are doing the Lord's work. I fucking... Yeah, I haven't had eyes on nothing. But, you know, it's a long season. And you don't want to get too buttered up just because of something like that. I'll see them. And it's you know, you do got that little bit of an October lull where they're shifting. They're hitting, you know, acorns sometimes are dropping. The soybeans are now brown. So they're not really hitting the soybeans hard anymore. They're switching over to the corn because they like the corn when it's a little more brown. And so that's, you know, it just changes things. So we have to change accordingly to them. We'll get after them. We'll get them.
Yeah.
And my main objective really is to get a buck, a big buck this year. But at the same time, I want to put at least 2 more does in the freezer.
Yeah.
I'd like to be where you're at with a buck. You know what I mean? Like now, if I was in your shoes, I would sit for a buck until probably late January if I was you. But it's so damn hot.
When that doe was coming down the trail, I was like a junkie with a needle in front of me, just shaking. Like, I couldn't hold back. I just couldn't do it. And it's on the Instagram story, beers_n_deers_podcast. Go on there, the Instagram story. I was waiting for a buck, but I shot a doe.
What are you going to do?
I couldn't help it.
You can't help it, man. You're a goddamn junkie, you know?
I'm sorry.
Hey man, what is your boy Kip
Kip
Make
Campbell?
killing does great again. You're
I
fucking,
need
you're
to get that
fucking
shirt.
doing that shit
Make-
single-handedly.
Make killing does great again.
It is, man. You know what? I don't know. I love drilling a doe, and I love cooking deer meat, man. It's all I eat. I don't buy red meat. I eat deer. That's it. You know what I mean?
The old lady is working hard upstairs making jerky and bologna.
Hell yeah.
She's making the fuck out of it.
Yeah, I ate all my jerky. I made a batch, about 5 pounds. I ate all that shit. Goes so
Sucks
fast.
because it goes like 5
So
pounds
fast.
is a half a pound.
Yeah. It does. It's fucking horse shit. But, you know.
It's so good.
It's worth every fucking penny you put into it. And I'm looking for recipes. If anybody has a solid, like, spicy jerky recipe on the Instagram channel or fucking YouTube, wherever you follow us, shoot me a message. Or you know, we got the email, too, Beers and Deers Podcast @gmail.com. Shoot us a fucking email. Let me know. I need a good recipe for making some spicy jerky. Well, I wanted to address, we just opened up the Instagram page.
Yes,
and,
this week.
This week. We are technologically fucking remedial. I mean,
Yes.
this is not easy for us, so bear with us. But we're trying to get we're trying to get interactive with the people who are fucking following us and shit, because we appreciate the fuck out of it, and it makes this shit fun, you know?
Hell yeah.
And we asked some questions on there, and one of the questions that we got, we only got 2 questions, but one of them was John.
No, it wasn't me.
It wasn't you?
No,
I think the question was, why are you guys so fucking cool?
Yeah, that came from, what was his name? JP Rambo 90.
Yeah.
Sounds like a real cool guy.
Yeah, he sounds like a good guy.
Yeah, you know, and that's a hard question. You know, I don't think my dad understood the hell he was unleashing on the wildlife when he handed me that recurve bow when I was 4 years old.
He didn't understand.
He had no clue.
He had
zero idea.
Yeah.
And,
Clueless.
I think that's pretty much where it comes from.
I think mine is because, you know, like every November I drink nothing but Busch Light and doe piss.
Yes.
And I think that just gives me that edge that I need, you know, out there in the wild, you know.
Hell yeah.
Hey, the question number 2
Was a legit question.
was a legitimate question. Was why or how long do you sit after you shoot a deer? How long do you sit in your stand? And there is no quick answer to that.
There's a lot of variables that come into play.
So the 2 things. So for one, first thing is what the deer does when you shoot them, how they react to it,
And where you shoot it.
and right, if you can tell exactly where you hit it, is valuable. Then the second thing is if you pass through, which hopefully you do, but some people, if the draw weight's not heavy enough, you might not. If you can find the arrow after the fact, that can tell you a lot about how long you need to wait till you chase that animal or you track that animal. If it's got any guts on it, it don't hurt to let that thing soak for a little while.
True. Yeah, I got some notes on that. Gut shot, 12 hours.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
And
It is.
even then, they still can't die. That's a long, agonizing death.
Yeah.
And that's why you have to practice, and it should be just second nature. Come to that anchor point. You should just come right to it. Bang.
It's like tying your shoes, man. You know, when you're a kid, you have to pay attention. You have to think about it in your head. Loops, pull. Bow hunting should be the same way. Shooting your bow should be the same way. You should shoot so much that it's second nature to you. You don't have to think about, all right, anchor point, nose to the fucking string, kiss a button. You shouldn't have to. You should be dialed in by the time you're honing in on an animal. I mean, I shoot year round, and that'll go a long way. If you can do that and then you can execute a good shot, your odds of recovering an animal after you shot it are way better because you're going to execute. You're going to make a better shot. So that's a big thing. It's wherever that arrow hits the animal that matters the most. If you get a double lung, shit, sometimes you can watch that deer drop. Yeah. And then I say, give it a couple minutes, climb down. By the time you climb down, go find your arrow, put your stuff back, go get that deer.
Yeah,
that fast.
And the blood's going to be bright red, and it's going to have bubbles in it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's with the lungs, absolutely.
And a heart shot is going to be immediate. You're gonna see that deer die. There's going to be so much blood loss.
Yeah, even if they are sprinting, and that's the thing, like what the deer does after. So say you can't recover your arrow. If that deer takes off running when you shoot it, odds are you probably made a decent shot.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if that deer takes off a little bit, stops and like starts like walking away and just disappears, odds are you made a bad shot.
Yeah, that's good.
So there's different, and these are things. I think doesn't the jury have? I don't know if you got to pay for that.
Yeah, you do. It's the upper tier subscription.
Well, that's all shit. You can definitely look into it online. But yeah,
thing is, you have to mark where you think you hit the deer.
Okay, so there's issues with that. The deer's reaction is a big one. If they jump up to a donkey kick and take off full speed, and you think you made a good shot, you hit vitals more than likely. You get down. Hopefully, if your bow draws enough and you pass them, you look at your arrow and you've got solid blood on there, maybe a little bubbles or whatever. Follow that blood trail. You can track that deer down and find it within the hour.
Yeah.
Now, if it trots off, like I was saying, you're going to probably want to give it some time. If there's any guts on your arrow, you're going to want to give it some time, let that thing soak.
Because that deer is going to run and run and run and run.
And there's a whole lot of circumstances. A lot of the time, depending on the visibility from your stand, the time of year, the foliage, how far out you can see that deer fall. Or you'll hear them crash.
Yes, that's a big one too.
Yeah, and if that's the case, then just take your time. Maybe hang out for another 15 minutes, let your nerves cool. I'll climb down, take my stuff back to my truck, and I'll start tracking the deer. Now, if I see guts on it, that's a whole other story.
Yeah, man, that's
you're gonna want to let that thing soak for a while. And now, like this year, it's a prime example. That doe I killed opening day, because it was so hot, I didn't want to let her soak for a while because I knew if I let her soak, she'd be gone. But that's the thing, man. You run the risk of walking up on an animal that's still alive. And in that case, after my experience, what I'm going to advise you to do is...
Always bring your weapon with you.
Yes.
Always.
And if not, turn around and walk away. Let them die in peace.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Let them have their last minutes in peace. Let them expire, not perspire. And let them just, give them time, man. That's why if you're not sure you're shot, give them time.
Yeah.
Because the problem is if you could also bump a deer. If you made not such a great shot, they'll make a bed, and then you start following them, then they'll jump up again, and God knows how far they are, and the odds of you recovering them after that is even harder.
Yeah, they make that bed if it's a gut shot, and they'll try and pack a bunch of shit in there, and you won't even... finding a trail after that is tough.
Yeah.
I got two more on here. Liver shot, that's... at least 4 hours, and that's going to be dark, even purple blood on your arrow or on the ground. And a muscle shot is going to be bright red, but most of the time it's going to abruptly stop after about 100 yards.
Yeah.
The first deer I ever shot with my single shot 20 gauge when I was 16, never found him. It was a muscle shot. There was blood everywhere for about 100 yards. Never found that deer.
No shit.
It just kind of stopped. Just out of nowhere. We found one more speck about 200 yards away, and that deer lived to see another day.
Yeah, they often can live. They're tough sons of bitches.
Yeah.
They're a lot tougher than we are. That's for damn sure. We're like fucking balloons full of Jello.
You send an arrow through me, I'm not running.
No. Yeah. They are amazing creatures. Yeah. And you know what, dude? The season's coming along nicely. And this upcoming week, I mean, we're what October 10th we are in right now? And I think that's the date.
Yeah.
These next couple weeks, things are really going to start changing. We got about one more week of this so-called lull, if you subscribe to that or whatever you want to call it. But the end of October, at least in our area in the Mid-Atlantic, deer are going to start responding to the does coming into heat. And they're going to start doing a little bit of chasing. That's when you're going to be able to really use the old rattlers and the old grunt calls and stuff like that. And that's a fucking awesome time. I love using the rattles. Yeah, we got a good season coming up.
So there was a couple really nice bucks in the cooler at Buckland's.
Yeah?
Yeah. And that cooler was packed. I've never seen it so full.
No shit.
Yeah. I don't know if they've been
Well, maybe that's where all the fucking deer are, because I can't
all
fucking
dead.
I can't kill all of them. You're killing them all. They're killing them all.
Fucking cameras up like that.
Oh, shit. Well, let me try and fix this camera for you. I'm fucking this up. Hopefully I just did that.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
We'll find out later.
If not,
Fuck it.
Apologize about that. There's still the audio content that we'll have on. Well, we have audio all kinds of places. We've got audio on Spotify, Buzzsprout, Stitcher, Castbox.
Oh my god.
Yeah, pretty much everywhere you can find it.
All
I
over the
think
place.
it's on Apple, but like I said, technologically retarded. So I'm not sure if it's on Apple or not. And then of course YouTube, we're posting them on there. That takes a long time, so yeah. But we're getting there.
I didn't realize how long it took to upload a fucking video to YouTube.
Yeah, Jesus Christ, I can download a porno a hell of a lot faster. I mean, shit, I can get a 30-minute porno downloaded to my phone in a jiffy. It takes me longer to finish than it does to download the fucking movie.
Oh man, I wanted to talk about something strange.
I like some strange.
that I seen tonight for the very first time.
Need one?
Yeah, I hunted the same exact tree tonight that I hunted Thursday when I shot that doe. And I gutted that doe where she died. And I had 2 deer make a beeline to where I gutted that doe. And they started licking the ground where the guts were.
No shit.
Yeah. I don't know what that was about. That's, I don't know.
Maybe nutrients, you know? I mean,
Maybe. I don't know.
I've heard of deer eating like birds and
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
you know?
I've seen videos, but
Protein.
it was just crazy. Both of them made a beeline for that area. And they were licking the ground, smelling the ground, eating the grass around it.
No shit.
Yeah, it was kind of,
A little creepy.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit.
Supposed to be a fucking, a herbivore?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is odd. You know, sometimes I eat things that aren't typically on my diet.
Yeah, me. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. That's definitely unusual.
Yeah, it was weird.
I seen a cat today in the stand. Oh, actually, I got a funny story. Fucking, you would not believe. All right, so I went and hunted our spot in Elkton, Maryland. And it was the morning sit. And I went in the stand, blah, blah. It was a good sit. I had to go do a side job after, so I had to roll out of there a little before 9, like 8:45. Which isn't terrible time to get out of the woods in the mornings this time of year.
In the rut, that's the prime time.
Yeah, in the rut, I'll sit there for quite a while. Rut, typically, I'll sit there till about 11, go eat some lunch, and then get right back at. And I might change my stand location, but yeah. But so as I'm walking out of this property, and this property is surrounded by truck stops, fucking motels. Take your pick. It's not exactly an ideal place to hunt, but it
First
is.
started hunting there, we found a tent and a bunch of porno magazines for the hobos.
Yeah, to run those fucking hobos out of there. Fucking bastards. There's a bunch of used condoms and shit in there.
Yeah.
It's like, son of a bitch. No wonder I'm not shooting any fucking
You
deer.
got nothing else to do. You might as well fuck.
Goddamn hobos. So I'm walking out of the property in the morning, heading back to my truck, and I see this guy walking down the road. And whatever, you know what I mean? Okay. And I'm slowly getting out of the field, you know what I mean, making my way to my truck. And as I do so, this guy, I look over, and he had made his way just inside the woods into where we hunt. Mm-hmm. And he's like walking around like a dog looking for a spot to take a shit. And he like starts like undoing his pants.
For real?
Yes. He starts undoing his pants. I'm like, hey, what are you doing, dude? And he's like, oh. And he like puts his belt back on. And he's like, I was just looking for a spot to take a shit.
Well, he told you the truth.
I was like, are you fucking kidding me, man? I was like, you don't see the no trespassing signs? I'm like, do me a favor. I hunt in here. Go take a shit on that side of the road, motherfucker. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry, man. I was this fucking asshole, kicked me out of his motel room. And I was like, get a job. And he was like, I'm just trying to find Newark. I'm like, Newark's the other fucking direction,
all
buddy.
Bullshit.
Some fucking hobo.
At least told you the story about having to take a shit.
Yeah, so it's no wonder I didn't see any fucking deer. He's probably going in there taking a dump every morning right around prime time.
Probably.
Fucking
It's
cocksucker.
off of his fucking his night of just whatever he's doing.
Methamphetamine. Yeah.
He's going in there and take a big old dump.
You know, release the old bowels. Son of a bitch, man. Yeah, that was really fucking irritating. I had some no trespassing signs in my toolbox. I hung a couple more. Not that they fucking do anything.
They don't do shit.
God damn it, man. This year, we've really had a hard time with people walking on where we're hunting. I mean,
yeah, a guy at Port had his climber stolen.
Oh, yeah. A climber?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was a angle.
No, it was a climber. It's,
It was...
I love the guy. Captain. Shout out Captain. He will never listen to this. He left his climber at the bottom of the tree. Kind of like how you got your climber.
But he was in his land.
Yeah, it's our land, and somebody came along, took the motherfucker.
Son of a bitch. Yeah, man. See, that's really irritating, and that's something that I don't know will ever change if you're hunting in kind of smallish private land, or
it's never gonna change.
Especially if you're hunting public. Fuck. I don't. Hey, can you leave cameras up public here? No. Oh, that's something I did this week. So, Area D in Fair Hill, which is a nice chunk of public land, opens November, I believe it's 11th.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it opens up that day. So my thoughts were, you know what? I'll fucking get in there November 11th, because right now that's like a sanctuary to them, because the rest of it's open, and they're running in there. So that's prime time, obviously. So I made like a little day trip out of it with the kids. I was off Friday. I had a side job. I was done by like 1. Went home, got the kids. We went and hiked some trails in Fair Hill, and I picked some trails through that D area, and I was scouting in there. Found a couple nice white oaks. Found some bedding. Jumped up quite a few deer. Didn't want to do that, but at least now I'm aware of them, and I marked all that on my Onyx on that phone app.
That's a fantastic.
Their bedding areas where they're bedding. I marked off the white oaks, a couple black or red oaks. On field edges in there, so I think November 11th I'm gonna go in there opening as soon as that property opens and sit in there, because I got a pretty solid scout session, and we were there for a good 2 hours. We probably hiked 5 miles in there, me and the kids. It was
Fair Hill is me and my dad had good luck in there when we hunted there years ago.
Yeah. Oh, it's a great property. I mean, and I've seen a buck there last year that was a absolute hammer from the road. And I'm not going to disclose his location, but I basically scouted out that area where I seen him, and there's a lot of good deer sign. I've seen some deer bedding, jumped up some does unintentionally. My kids are, they're loud as hell in the woods, but we're most of the time we were on like bike trails, cycling trails, and there's a pretty solid spot. It's a bit of a hike. Yeah. I'm going to have to walk. Probably about a 20-minute hike in to where I want to be. Maybe 15.
Shit.
Yeah, it's a ways. It's about as far from the parking lot as you can get.
Take a bike.
But that's where I seen that big buck, and that's also where I jumped up these does. So it's obviously a solid spot.
Like we talked about last week or a couple weeks ago, go where no one else wants to go.
Yeah. Yep. Put on the muck boots, which I'm going to have to do to get to this area. I'll need the muck boots. I won't need waders, but I will need waterproof boots because I'll have to cross the creek. But yeah, that's definitely a spot that I'm gonna be dialing in on.
When we hunted there, we hunted in this kind of fenced-in area, and I was hunting right next to the fence, and over the fence there was this big field, and I look over and there's this huge 8-pointer, big wide motherfucker. He had a collar on him, but he was outside the fence. And I tried grunting at him and rattling at him, and he just looked at me like I was a fucking moron. I'm not coming in there. Yeah. Fuck you.
That's crazy. Like, dude, when they're rutting, man, sometimes it's hard to pull them off of the doe.
Oh, hell
I had a buck rutting, I think it was last year or the year before, that was, man, he was hot on a trail. And I didn't even see the doe, but he was sniffing the ground, and he was moving. He was cruising, chasing. And I seen him, and I fucking hit the grunt. He looked over at me, kept on going. I fucking hit another grunt, looked over at me, kept on going. I hit a snort wheeze, looked over at me, stopped a second, kept on going. He didn't give a fuck, man. I could have fucking started screaming at him.
Yeah,
he would have kept on
going. They'll
rolling,
run right past you. Me and Sam
that's not always the case, but
me and Sam took a walk out the first week of November out to Turkey Point, and this 8-point buck chased a doe within feet of me and her and the dogs.
No shit.
feet.
Yeah, that's why I love the rut, man.
They're just so stupid.
Yeah, they're just like, fuck you, I'm trying to get me some pussy.
Yeah.
They don't give a fuck.
Well, if you only got it one time a year.
Yeah. Like, could you imagine if people were like deer?
Oh, my God.
It was like just, we're all cool. Me and you were fucking buddies. We're hanging out here drinking beers. Come November, we're just like, you
I'll
want
fucking
some?
kill your
You
ass.
want some, motherfucker? Yeah.
That would be something else.
It would be a hell of a time, Then we're all buddy after, like, man, fuck
didn't
them
mean
hoes.
nothing.
Yeah,
It didn't mean
whatever. No hard feelings. I fucked her.
Oh, and here's a public service announcement. Has nothing to do with hunting. If you drive a pickup truck or a Jeep with one of them giant fucking light bars on it, eat a dick. You need kicked in the fucking teeth.
Yeah, right in the nuts.
God, I was going to the butcher. It's dark. And this cocksucker comes around a fucking bend in the goddamn back roads, and that fucking thing is on. I almost wrecked my fucking truck because of this cocksucker.
Yeah, dude, that shit, don't use that shit while you're driving. I mean, it's cool to have, don't get me wrong. Shut that bitch off.
Yeah, if you're mud bogging, fine. Whatever.
Right.
Whatever. Right. Douche. Not on your fucking road, you ass clown.
If you're at a bonfire with all your cousins and you're having a fuck fest, you go ahead. But, I mean, shit. Come on, man. There's other people on the road.
Just a public service announcement. I had to get that out.
Bitch. There's a lot of that around here.
Yeah.
Cecil, Kentucky, baby.
Yeah.
Gotta love it. I love living here. It's a beautiful area. And that's another thing. Like, I might hit some Delaware hunting later this year, too.
Ooh, out-of-state license.
Yeah, a pretty penny. When I first started hunting, I was paying PA out of state. I think that was like $120. Didn't see a goddamn thing. I was climbing trees and just sitting up in them. Not even no climb or nothing. Just clueless.
Wow.
Yeah, I was just climbing up trees. Yeah, and sitting on tree branches.
Okay.
Okay. Idiot.
Yeah.
I was the guy that now me and you were like, this fucking asshole.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's how you learn.
But you gotta learn. Yeah.
You gotta surround yourself with good people, though. That's how you really learn.
Yeah, that's a good thing. If you don't have anybody around you who can give you some advice on it, man, get to a nice pro shop and just pick the brains of some motherfuckers down in there, Fucking autumn sky.
Yeah, if somebody doesn't want to talk about hunting, then they're just a douchebag.
Yeah, and I'll talk about it to anybody. I'll give you all the little bit of knowledge that I can provide to you.
Yeah.
You need a brewski?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This is beers and deers. And hey, I've killed the deers. I need the beers.
You're killing a whole lot of deer. I am not so much. But I am throwing some of these cold bush lattes down. That's one thing I will always be good at.
Nothing wrong with that.
And hey,
I threw some of these cold Broken Skull IPAs down last Sunday. They're disgusting.
Yeah?
I'm not an IPA guy.
I don't know.
I'd
probably like them. I'll have to try them out. But yeah, that's more my speed. I'll drink anything.
Yeah.
Fucking pour a little dope piss in there. It does the job.
Spit on the ground as you're walking in.
The whole month of November. That's just what I do. I'm just, they're just following me around. I think that's what we should do. Whoever shoots the least amount of deer this year should have to cover themselves in doe piss next November 7th and dress up like a doe in a doe costume. And I will film you, and you just lay in the woods, and I'm just going to give you a little bleach.
As long as you're up in a tree with a bow waiting on the buck that comes and wants to fuck me, sure.
I'm going to let him get a few pumps in. You know what I mean? You're like, oh, God, no. Shoot this motherfucker. Shoot him.
That brings us into our shooter pass, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. We shooter pass is drinking in the stand, Johnny.
Well, I'm going to pass that, obviously. Never done it. Never drank in a stand. I've walked to the stand still drunk from the night before and hungover from the night before. Alcohol and firearms, whether it's a bow or a gun, it don't.
Yeah, you're all fucked up. And I'm gonna pass as well. Nice. However, I will admit I have had a couple. I took a beer one time and drank a beer in a stand because I was so hungover that I was like hoping it would mellow me out.
Should probably Google the statute of limitations on that.
Yeah, did I say that? I didn't mean that. I was just kidding. Yeah, I definitely wasn't fucking up till 5 o'clock in the morning snorting blow out of strippers' asses or anything.
What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do? But yeah, I definitely wouldn't recommend that.
Absolutely
100%.
not. And that's the whole mindset of the non-hunter. the non-hunter thinks that's what the hunter is.
Yeah, but
a
it's
drunken retard shooting stop signs and shooting a deer at 2 o'clock in the
That's
morning.
just not the case.
I've never ever. Well, I shouldn't say I've never met one, but it's so rare.
Yeah.
You'll come across one in your lifetime.
Yeah. Yeah. Nah, we ain't about that shit. I love drinking beer. Don't get me wrong, but I don't mix it with my hunting.
No.
When I'm out there in the field, I want to be dialed in.
Like I said a couple podcasts ago, our frontal cortex has completely developed.
Yeah, well, maybe. I don't know.
Our decision making is
A little better. We're getting there.
sometimes skewed.
I'm not quite a shooter yet. You know what I mean? But I'm working on it. I'm getting there. Give me some time. You might have to let me grow another year or two.
Soak.
Yeah. But hey, I think we're closing in on time for me to go to Pine Grove.
Yeah,
If you hear this tonight, hit me up. I'll be at Pine Grove in Elkton, Maryland, at the old local watering hole.
Shithole.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to keep coming at you every fucking week during bow season 2020. It is JP, motherfucking Rambo, and Seth the Guillotine Gills, live from Cecil, Maryland, killing deer, chugging beer. Get out there and get some, y'all. Good luck to you.
Go kill a fucking deer.
Kill a doe.
Yeah, I do.